manipulation tools. Can you tell me the validity of all of these tools?
Ethos makes the person more believable.
Mm-hmm.
Pathos can connect the audience to the speaker,
Mm-hmm.
and logos can also like support the argument and make it more convincing.
Right. So the whole point is to be convincing, right? In everything that we do in our life, the whole point is being convincing and being able to persuade other people. Now, when we talk about persuasion, the more common understanding of the term is along the negative lines, like you're trying to manipulate people into something. But manipulation is not necessarily negative. I mean, it sounds negative. When you're trying to persuade someone, in a way, you are manipulating them into believing what you believe in, right? And in order to make it impactful, another thing that you need to keep in mind is that it has to, kind of convey, it has to be conveyed rather through your body language first. Okay, when you show up to people whom you are about to talk to about anything under the sun, you need to convey the comfort and ease with your ideas and thoughts in your body language. Now, on the scale of 10, how comfortable you think you are with your body, the way you carry yourself, like physically, not mentally or intellectually?
Like 8.
Okay, why did you deduct 2 marks?
Because that day we were looking at the video, it was talking about keeping your arms folded and not making eye contact. I feel like I do some of those things.
Right. So that is something that we need to work on, right? And of course, there are very minor things. It comes with time. Now, because I am your tutor and you have been with me for quite some time now, so I could be like an immediate reference point, right? So when I look at myself and I open my video for any of the calls, I am also very pleased and using also very positively. The fact that I am trying to say is that the ease has to, because I feel I am very confident. Okay, without beating around the bush, I'm just saying it right out there in the open. And I think when you're very confident, it kind of flows organically into your body also. Okay, even when I haven't put up a lot of makeup and when my hair is not done well, you have seen me in all my phases and my faces, right? There are times when I'm not absolutely prim and proper, but even in those times, being confident from within radiates outside as well. There are simple things, for example, like your shoulders, like they are not supposed to slouch, you just have to sit straight. And you don't have to, even if I have a back support on my chair, I wouldn't necessarily lean down like that. I have an option to do that and you wouldn't object, but this just helps me maintain my overall body posture. Okay, keeping a straight neck, making an eye contact, and having a pleasant face. Now you would be like, pleasant face is not something about the cosmetic surgeries or doing anything or faking it all, but just having a bit of animation into your expressions. I think these are the small details that all kind of builds up the confidence in you. The first and foremost thing is the knowledge of what you are doing. you know this is the most important thing. If you don't know what you have to do, you'll be absolutely nervous, anxious, no matter how pretty we are, no matter whether we are dressed up in our best form possible. But if we don't know the content that we're about to deliver, if we don't know the topic that we are going to talk about, of course the confidence has to go down in shatters. When we'll be in our final stages of the course, I would also teach you some hacks on how to get out of those uncomfortable conversations or try to deal with people who sometimes get difficult with us. But right now, I want you to start working in your body language, and this is the space where we'll practice that also. Like, as I always tell you, that having some animation in your face is important. Like, I should be able to know whether Ananya is excited about this. This is something that I talk about. Like, when you're excited about something, it doesn't get through me. I don't know whether you're excited or you're sad. When I ask you what is the highest score in the class, you tell me mine is the highest. You don't have to jump with joy, but at least the satisfaction, the fact that you are pleased with your scores and you are very happy with the fact that you are the topper for that particular subject. So you should be able to convey that. I know all of those things, that yeah, you want to continue doing better. And I asked you this question earlier, and I remember this when you told me that I think about how to continue doing that. You remember you told me that one day?
Yeah.
We have had that kind of conversation. I remember details because I listen attentively, and in order to listen attentively, you need to focus. And when you don't lose your body, psychologically you are forced to focus. If I make my body too comfortable, then I wouldn't be able to focus, because then I will be focusing on just having, a relaxation. My back will feel absolutely unarched. I will feel well anchored if I'm sitting on an armchair, relaxing my hands on that. So I'm just trying to tell you how deep is the connection between all of these things that I'm saying: the non-verbal body language, the verbality of the content, the way you sit, and your expressions, and your concentration, your memory, your knowledge, your confidence. All of these things are interconnected. They are not absolutely divorced from each other. One thing leads to other. And if one thing doesn't work in your favor, the other things also kind of fall off the rubric. That is how it functions. And it doesn't come immediately, right? Some people say that you are born confident. It is not necessarily true in everybody's cases. But the thing is that when you're out there in the world and when you socialize and you see people around you, I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't disagree with the fact that people who are more confident are able to put their foot forward in difficult situations too. They look at each and every threatening situation as an opportunity to prove themselves. And I'm pretty sure that you would have probably heard about it or maybe encountered it firsthand, wherein a more confident person got an opportunity, although you believe that you are more skilled or more worthy. And if you haven't experienced it yet, I hope you never do, but you can talk to some of the people, and maybe when you grow up, you will see some of your friends maybe talking along those lines. Okay? Especially people who work in corporate sectors, they complain about it a lot, that I feel I'm more worthy of promotion, or I feel that these are my ideas. But the boss would say to some other student, or pardon, to some other person in the team to deliver the content because they are more pleasant. There is something called pleasant personality. What do you think I'm talking about when I'm talking about a pleasant personality? What does that even entail?
Like they're nice to be around and they care about the other person.
But how is it something that can be discerned right in first 10 seconds whether this person has a pleasant personality or an unpleasant personality? As we say, that people have already judged you and have made an opinion about you in the first 10 seconds of seeing you, even when you don't open your mouth. For example, when we attend weddings, right? People have an opinion. You know what? I'll tell you something super funny. I don't know whether I should be sharing this with you. When I was getting married, so we had a photographer, of course, who was just asking us to do weird poses, which I love doing. So I was enjoying all of it. But he just said something to me, that, I mean, I don't know how does that sound, but he said, that, ma'am, आप ना बहुत तेज बहू बनोगे. That's what he told me. आप बहुत तेज हो, ma'am. And he didn't know me, of course. He's not a family friend or something. And I was like, how are you even discerning this about me? So, which is actually practically true about me. But the fact is, he probably figured something out about my personality or the way I was carrying myself through that photo shoot or the minor instructions I must be giving him. So, the reason I share this experience with you is that somebody who didn't even know me very well, of course, this is a very negative word, but it's okay. It was just all humorous. But the point is, that people do have an opinion about you. Even before you open your mouth, people have something in their mind about you. What do you think are the things that these people notice that they come up with an opinion?
The person's body language.
Which entails what?
The posture, the eye contact.
There are certain other things also. This is almost like reverse psychology. These are the tips that I'm primarily sharing with my corporate communication groups, wherein I have to tell people about the business meetings and things. But I strongly do believe that this is relevant to pretty much everyone. That interestingly, the paradox stands true that less is more. So the lesser words you take to convey an idea. For example, people can be, like smashing their head around and being so vehement and passionate about proving their point. And if you can assertively, just with your body language, you could just say that, that I really don't think it's a good idea. I'm not buying this idea. You can actually be slightly, like people are keen to listen to you more attentively when you are not the loudest person in the room. You must have noticed this, that when everybody else is screaming and there is one person who wants to just talk in the normal pace. See, my job is of a teacher. You will feel you contradict yourself, but I have to do that because I'm teaching you. And when I teach, my mode is that I have to be more passionate. But in normal communications and professional conversations, this is not how I am. I have to gauge the circle I am in. I don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be the most confident person in the room. So even when I'm sitting and I don't participate, people will still pay attention to me. The person who is giving a talk or something will look at me, right? And I have personally experienced this many times, mostly when I had a medical consultation for my husband and I accompanied him, of course, so even if it was about him, the doctor will look at me and will talk to me, and I was like, I'm not ill, you talk to him. But so I'm just trying to tell you that you need to have that kind of personality that people will feel like talking to you, people would want to share information with you, people would want to engage with you. Okay. And that comes with a lot many things. One thing that I always practice, again, these are more of behavioral skills. Okay. Being respectful, and that is not something that has to be performed. When I say respectful, for example, when I was at that clinic and there was an elderly lady who walked in the clinic while we were still inside, but it's okay, she probably didn't know that one appointment has to get over before she could get it. So I immediately got up from my chair and I slipped it in her direction, because this is me, or just saying thank yous and sorries wherever you can, and doing your basic errands yourself. Like when you can see that there is a water cooler, just go and fill your water bottle. You don't have to find some servant or somebody to help you with those things. These are the unobservable, unspeakable things that make you more pleasant and more confident, because as we always say, that insecurity screams out loud, security is silent. So you don't have to show that you are more privileged one in the room or the equation. You have to make it about other people, as I have spoken about a couple of times. Give them respect, listen attentively, maintain eye contact, don't slouch your shoulders, and when somebody is speaking or talking about something, you have to show that you are genuinely interested. Of course, it's not always a perform thing. Sometimes you're interested, sometimes you're not interested, but being polite, respectful, knowing hacks of how to convert the information and maybe make the information more precise because you feel that it's dragging along. These are the minor things that are actually a sum total of making you more confident. Okay. So you have to understand that these are the things that we don't really care about, but these things actually end up making you more pleasant and more confident, and they become a part of your personality. Ultimately, it's personality development, as I say. When you actually develop your communication skills, also non-verbal communication skills, you end up developing your personality, because you become that person. You can't fake being someone. Like, it can't be a performative strategy that I'm teaching you, that be like this when you are outside, be like this when you're inside. Okay. You have to have that kind of personality, which is very easy, even when you are not dressed in at your best. As I said, even there is a certain sense of ease. Basic hygiene, for example, is very important, like having your nails trimmed properly, having your hair trimmed properly. Basic things, when you grow up, maybe having your proper salon visits at a regular interval. It is not fashion or something. These are the things that, let me give you like the simplest hack ever. The way you treat yourself is how people treat you. Okay. As simple as that. If people see you that you are absolutely unkempt, you don't care about your appearances and everything, people have a psychological understanding. This person doesn't give herself time and importance. She doesn't consider herself important enough that she wants to invest her time, money, and thoughts into her improvement. That is how you are treated. Okay. And also, the way you talk about yourself is how people perceive you. Okay. If you are speaking positively about yourself, you don't have to cut a sorry figure. No, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to figure my ways out. I am trying to understand this. Never having a negative narrative. I don't know this. I feel pressured. We don't have to use the negative talk. Self-talk doesn't have to be negative. Even while talking about your struggles, your problems to someone, you don't have to use words like, I'm struggling to do this. You just say, I'm trying to find new ways of dealing with this. I am looking for some guidance so that I can understand this better. So always have this very positive and affirmative approach while you're talking to yourself. Okay. That is extremely important. We never have to delve into that. I'm trying to tell you these things which are psychologically building the personality that you consciously show forth. Because as I told you, this is not something that you can fake for a really long. You can't fake a personality. You can fake an accent. You can't fake personality. Right? So being at ease, being very confident about what you are and how you look. And that confidence doesn't come like I wake up early in the morning and I show up without combing my hair. That's not confidence. That's pure arrogance, I would say. I strongly believe that when you don't show up looking nice, in very different terms than whatever looking nice could mean on social media, right? I believe that it is a disrespect to the other person. This is how you have to understand the psychology of social interactions. When you don't dress up well, when you're not even thoughtful about what to wear and how to wear contextually, It's disrespect. If you show up at someone's wedding looking like a moron, it's not cool. It's not like, no, I'm very simple. It's disrespect to the context. It means that you don't think they are important enough. Okay? So
Yeah.
you have to understand, if you're showing up at a birthday party of a friend, you have to dress up the part like you are a friend. You don't have to dress up like you are the one whose birthday party it is. So this is also a way of, earning respect, the respect that stays with you. You have to, when you show up looking nice, when you show up well prepared for even a class or even any meeting, this is not just about you doing your work. This is about you earning respect of other people, that they really value you, that wow, this person thinks that I am important enough, that she has put in some efforts to show up before me. Okay? So like scrolling phones or all of those things, when we do all of those things, it kind of shows the other person that you are not, they are not important enough for you. So that is how everybody wants to feel respected psychologically. When you tell people that I care for you, I want to listen to you, and even if I don't have solutions, I can still provide some sort of emotional succor here. So those are the things that make you, very valuable. It's not just about being commercially transactional relationships that I'm talking about. It's about just people value you more and respect you more. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is just a food for thought for you, and I just want you to ruminate over it at your end and think about the things that you can easily invite in your life, and think about the things that you believe that they are very clash of personality, that this is not me. Okay? So that is entirely about you. Like, you can be straightforward and not straightforward. You can choose whether you want to be. It's totally up to you. Maybe you feel that it's easier said than done. This is not what I am, or this is not how I am projecting myself. For some people it's very easy, for some people it is not, right? And also yesterday I learned one more thing. Personally, I learned one more thing. I am sharing this experience with you because again, because my ultimate goal here is to just make you feel more confident and knowing how to deal with your social interactions, and how to cut off people who are not adding any value to your life also. So very briefly I'll tell you. So one of the friends quote unquote, because we are not very actively friends, she just ended up calling me yesterday, and for not having anything better to do, I don't know why did I pick up the call in the first place, but I did. And we probably talked for like 4 minutes, and the entire conversation was, she was just giving me back to back, okay, I mean, I don't know why, but she was giving out all the being jealous or insecure with me, and she literally decided to vocalize it. Maybe she's looking at me on social media or something. Shine just got married, how's your married life, now your in-laws are not there, so you must be living alone. And she was just talking about extremely intrusive questions, and she's like, you shouldn't be posting a lot of pictures on social media about your happy life. You see, it was absolutely unsolicited, but I was just too speechless to respond to that. But it gave me a lot of insights into thinking about human relationships. You see, when content writer talk about it, they say that for a content writer, everything is a content, right?
Yeah.
Somebody dies, there is a content. Somebody got scammed, there is a content. So for me, as a teacher, as a tutor, everything is an experience. So basically she was extremely intrusive, and everything that she said clearly conveyed that she's coming from a space of insecurity. I thought about it a lot, that what made her talk to me like that, or rather what made her talk to me about those topics. Although she was pleasant in tone, but absolutely unpleasant topics. So what I realized was, I immediately of course disconnected, obviously, right? I mean, after saying bye, and I blocked her number, and I didn't feel any calms about it, because I realized that this is not adding any value to my life. So another concept that I'm introducing to you is decluttering. Decluttering not only around your space, but decluttering the people of your life also. These are the things that will be more useful for you when you will grow up, but you will not be taking PST classes again when you will grow up. So I am just sharing the insights so that you can retain them for as long as you can, right? The moment you realize that even in your friend circle somebody is just being pokey, intrusive, and you realize that, when think about these things, when was the last time this friend was like really useful to me in any way? Like, maybe I had a chat with her, maybe she made me laugh. But if you feel that the particular person is constantly making you feel insecure, jealous, anxious, not adding any value, or making you question your own worth, you need to understand that it's time to cut off. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Now I am going to show you some opinions on the screen. Yes. So I timed it well. I wanted to talk about it for 30 minutes, and 30 minutes it is. Now let's bounce off. I'm just showing you a statement. It's a random statement from any part of our life. Okay, it could be a conversation. As you can see, the first question is there. What are you seeing? Can you read it out to me, please?